بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في محاضرة اليوم سوف نتكلم عن الكاتب الأمريكي Ernest Hemingway, American writer and a Nobel Prize winner. Ernest Hemingway, he's a writer who represents the lost generation, and he is very critical of American capitalism. And he is also expatriate, a man who lived most of his life outside America. He served in ambulance corps in the First World War. So he is representative of the lost generation, people who suffered from the effects of the First World War, a man who was critical of the American capitalism, materialism, and the American dream. He lived most of his life as an expatriate, living outside the borders of America. And he served in ambulance corps in the First World War. إذا الكاتب الأمريكي إرنست هيمنغواي هو ممثل لمجموعة الكتاب الذين كانوا يمثلوا الجيل الضائع، وانتقد بشدة الرأسمالية الأمريكية والمادية الأمريكية والحلم الأمريكي. لقد عاش مهاجرا خارج حدود أمريكا معظم الأوقات، متنقلا بين الدول، سواء في باريس أو في لندن أو مغامراته في أفريقيا. لقد خدم في طبعا قوات طبية في خلال الحرب العالمية الأولى، وكان طبعا في طاقم سيارات الإسعاف، بالإضافة إلى مهنته كصحفي وكاتب. So who was Ernest Hemingway? He was born in Illinois, 1899. He was the son of Dr. Ed Hemingway and the second of 6 children. He, unlike most of the authors we have talked about, had 2 loving parents, attended high school at the Oak Park River Forest Township High School. His mother taught her children music and creativity. His father taught them the love of nature. Having been forbidden to join up for the First World War by his father, Ernest applied for a job as a journalist, and by October 1917, Hemingway was employed in the Kansas City Star. He wanted to become involved in the First World War. After only 6 months employment as a journalist, left the Star newspaper to join the Emperor's Corps in Italy. So we have Hemingway. He was the son of Dr. Ed Hemingway, the second of 6 children. He had loving parents. Mother taught him and taught her children music and creativity. Father taught them the love of nature. His father forbade him from joining the army, so he applied for a job as a journalist, and in October 1917, Hemingway was employed by the Kansas City Star. He wanted to become involved in the First World War. After only 6 months employment as a journalist, he left the Star newspaper to join the ambulance corps in Italy. إذا إرنست هيمنغواي مواليد إلينوي في عام 1899، وهو الثاني من 6 أطفال. طبعا أمه تعلمته الموسيقى والإبداع، والأب علمه حب الطبيعة. لقد منع من الانضمام إلى الحرب العالمية الأولى، فعمل صحفي في جريدة في مدينة كانساس، وأصله في النهاية أراد أن ينضم إلى الجيش الأمريكي في الحرب العالمية الأولى، وبعد 6 شهور من الوظيفة كصحفي لقد انضم إلى طاقم الإسعاف الجيش الأمريكي في إيطاليا، وترك عمله كصحفي في جريدة النجم الموجودة في كانساس. Drawn closer to his destiny. On July 8, 1918, Hemingway was hit by Australian artillery 6 days before his 19th birthday. By December 1918, he had left the service after serving just over 6 months, and by January 1919 was back to America with 227 scars on his wounded leg. So in July 1918, Hemingway was hit by Australian artillery 6 days before his 19th birthday. In December 1918, he had left the service after serving 6 months, and by January 1919, he came back to America wounded with 227 scars in his leg. في شهر 8 شهر 7 في العام 1918 هيمنغواي لقد أصيب بقذيفة نمساوية 6 أيام قبل عيد ميلاده 19 في ديسمبر عام 1918. لقد ترك الخدمة بعد أن خدم 6 شهور، وفي شهر 1 عام 1919 عاد إلى أمريكا وهو مثقل بجروح الحرب 227 جرح في رجله، طبعا بعد ما أصيب بقذيفة نمساوية. After the war, Hemingway went back to Michigan. After the war, leaving the ambulance service, he eventually found a job as a reporter for the Cooperative Commonwealth, a slip paper, monthly magazine put out by the Cooperative Society of America. He gave up on his job for the Cooperative Commonwealth, although he still submitted articles to the Toronto Star. So after the war, he came back to America. He left his job as ambulance service driver. He eventually found a job as a reporter for the Cooperative Commonwealth, and he also submitted articles to the Toronto Star. بعد الحرب هيمنغواي عاد إلى ميشيغان، وترك وظيفته كسائق إسعاف، وثم وجد وظيفة كصحفي في جريدة تابعة إلى المجتمع التعاوني المشترك، ثم ترك وظيفته وبدأ يكتب مقالات إلى مجلة تورونتو ستار. Hemingway's marriages. Ernest Hemingway married Elizabeth Hartley Richardson, September 1920. They separated when Elizabeth found out that he was having an affair with Pauline Peffier. Shortly after, Hemingway married again to Pauline Peffier. Martha Gillum replaced Pauline on this side. In 1940, again his marriage failed but did not discourage Ernest. He married again in 1946 to Mary Walsh. إذا هنري كان له زوجات عديدة، الأولى مع هنري ريتشاردسون، والثانية مع بولين بيفير، والثالثة مع مارتا جيلوم. وطبعا بالرغم من فشل زواجاته هذا لم يعني يؤثر عليه في الزواج مرة أخرى، وتزوج في عام 1946 من ماري واتش. Ernest and his hobbies: an avid game hunter and deep sea fisherman. كان بحار وكان يعشق الصيد وكان يعشق الصيد في الغابات وصيد الأسماك. Hemingway was known for epitomizing the notion of being a man's man. So he was a kind of a man who looks for adventure, and who looks for games, and he loves adventures in Africa or in the sea. For that reason, we say he was an avid game hunter and a deep sea fisherman. Was known for optimizing the notion of being a man's man. Literary work, Hemingway writing style seems simple and childlike. He provided description of action to capture scenes. He made the reading of the text as close to the actual experience as possible. His stylistic influence on American writers has been enormous. So Hemingway writing style simple, short, and straightforward. And he provided description of the action to capture scenes. He made reading the text close to reality and close to the actual experience. His stylistic influence on American writers has been enormous. أسلوب الكتابي لإرنست هيمنجوي كان بسيط وكان مباشر ومختصر، واستخدم الرمزية كثيرا في كتاباته. لقد قدم توضيحات وتفصيلات من خلال السرد لكي يصور المشهد للقارئ، وجعل قراءة النص قريبة من التجربة الواقعية قدر الإمكان. أسلوبه الكتابي واللغوي أثر على كثير من الكتاب الأمريكيين، وكان أثره كبيرا على الكتاب الأمريكيين. His most popular work, 1926, The Sun Also Rises, رواية مشهورة. It is the Ernest's first novel. 1929, A Farewell to Arms, his second novel. During the 1930 and early 1940, Ernest wrote mostly about two themes: politics, celebrity, and wealth. 1939, For Whom the Pill Tolls sold half a million copies. 1952, Old Man and the Sea was written, considered at the pinnacle of his writing. So most of his popular works and literary works, The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Pill Tolls, and The Old Man and the Sea. من الأعمال الشهيرة The Sun Also Rises, وداع أيها السلاح, A Farewell to Arms, لمن تقرع الأجراس For Whom the Pill Tolls, والرجل العجوز والبحر The Old Man and the Sea، والذي اعتبرت قمة وذروة في أعماله وإنجازاته الأدبية. Nearing the end, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, 1938. In 1953, Hemingway won the Pulitzer Prize in Fiction for The Old Man and the Sea. In 1954, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. So Hemingway committed suicide in 1961, and here is the video link to the Nobel Prize acceptance speech. So the snow of Kilimanjaro, 1938. Hemingway won the Pulitzer Prize in Fiction, and it is a prestigious one for The Old Man and the Sea. In 1954, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, and Hemingway committed suicide in 1961. طبعا هنا هي أعماله. نعود هنا كمان مرة. لسنو كليمنجارو في ال 53 فاز بجائزة بوليتزر للفن الروائي عن روايته العظيمة The Old Man and the Sea. في عام 1954 لقد حاز على جائزة نوبل للآداب، وانتحر في عام 1961. كان يعاني من الاكتئاب والإدمان. بهيك بنكون اتكلمنا عن نبذة سريعة عن إرنست هيمنجواي، مكانه، ميلاده، أسلوبه، وكتاباته. هذا هو الكاتب الأمريكي الشهير والذي كتب القصة القصيرة والروايات. إرنست هيمنجواي، أمريكان رايتر، نوبل برايز وينر، ومن الكتاب القرن العشرين، وممثل لهذا الجيل الضائع. A representative of the lost generation. أعجبتك هذه المحاضرة؟ تنساش اللايك والاشتراك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.